Welcome to another day in the life with the Samsung S23 Ultra, a phone I've actually switched to for the last 2 months or so. So we're going to take you through a full working kind of family day. We're going to go have a few adventures today and just see how it goes. I've used an iPhone for a very long time, but I am on month 2 now of using this S23 Ultra as my main phone. So I wanted to take you through a real full day in my life with my whole family using this phone. So we booked a weekend away to the West Country to just enjoy the beautiful sights and slower pace of life down here. Now, it's not going to be super polished, but as you'll see, when you have kids around you, there sometimes just isn't time to perfect things. Now, we started the day with a quick walk on the beach. Honestly, I wouldn't normally do this, but I needed to shoot some video to introduce this video, and I find it really awkward vlogging in front of people still. I found this quite a funny sign in the car park. The phone signal here is so non-existent that you have to literally walk onto the beach behind the lifeguard hut, which is a fair walk, so that you can pay for the parking on your phone, only in the West Country. Anyway, a quick stop here to film and snap a few photos. This is a good test because it's quite windy on the beach here today, so welcome to another vlog. This is day in the life with the S23 Ultra. Chris is here, my cameraman for the day, and yeah, nice quick walk on the beach to start off with. I'm going to walk back to get some breakfast. Also, who has a... oh, I can't even focus. 9 in the morning to do a workout.
On a Saturday.
Definitely not me. Well, that's something I quite like because you can switch lenses whilst you're filming. Don't think you can do that on the iPhone. Also, one thing I love about the Galaxy Watch 5 Pro is it's already started recording a workout, even though I haven't actually started a workout, so that's pretty cool. And secondly...
it's just you're not stomping hard enough, maybe.
It's actually counting your steps as you walk. That's quite cool. Something I've not seen on the Apple Watch before, but yeah, awesome. Now, I'm a bit of a fitness tech fan, and the Galaxy Watch 5 Pro overnight was able to track my sleep. Now, it thinks I had 8 hours 53 minutes of sleep last night, but comparing it with both my Whoop strap and Aura, which I always wear and also track sleep, it does seem to be very off with its light and deep sleep numbers. But as you'll see, all of these numbers are totally different to each other anyway, so I never really take these stats as gospel. Right, battery life check-in in the morning. It is 10 o'clock. We are 86% on the S23 Ultra. We're also 64% on the watch. And this is on day 2 because I actually wore the watch yesterday and wore it to bed last night for the sleep tracking stuff as well. So battery life really cool. Also an update, so with the Tesla I'm driving, you don't get Android Auto, you don't get Apple CarPlay. But because Android being Android, you can actually run an app on the phone that basically fakes that there's Android Auto, and so it will connect to the car. You can fire it up on the browser, and you can actually use Android Auto on the browser, which I think is pretty cool, and you can't do that with Apple CarPlay without like buying more stuff that's going to fake it and make it work in a Tesla. So yeah.
There's a zip wire.
The 100x zoom on the S23 Ultra is something that rarely really comes in handy, but when we spotted this zip wire running over the top of the Eden project, it was so cool to be able to just zoom so far into the distance to see where they were. Now, the quality does get quite bad the more you zoom in, but the fact we were this far away but could clearly see the people laying down as they got ready to go, absolutely crazy. Oh, almost. This is Blue Infinity, and it's the biggest ceramic sculpture in the world, I believe. These vapor rings represent oxygen, which is what breaks down carbs in our food to provide energy. And the sculpture represents cyanobacteria, if I've pronounced that right, which is a microbe which produces oxygen and absorbs CO2. But what did the kids think? Well, all they really cared about was trying to reach the smoke rings. We're now at 12 o'clock. Battery test is 77% on the phone, which hasn't done too bad. 59% on the watch. 5,700 steps, which is going to go up by about double by the time we finish today. So we're here in the Eden project today to have a look around. Currently in the rainforest biome, which is like maybe like 30 degrees, which is quite warm. Otherwise, we're just going to bring the kids around, have a look at all the colourful, pretty colours and plants, take some photos on the camera, and yeah. Now, some people don't like the shape of the S23 Ultra, but even though this phone is big, I actually really like this shape. I definitely think that the subtle changes they've made in this year's model make it just feel nicer to hold. And being a flagship, it is great to know that you're safe from dunking it into water, whether that's heavy rain or dropping it in the bath or the sea. It's been 2 months with this phone now, and I'm genuinely impressed with these cameras. The shots that this phone is capable of, as far as I'm concerned, are so good. If I have both the iPhone and the S23 Ultra next to me and I want to snap a photo, it's the S23 Ultra, hands down, every time. And my wife even commented on how she preferred the shots that I was getting on my phone to her iPhone, so take from that what you will. I don't personally use the S Pen, I just don't, but it's been a great distraction for the kids over lunch. So much so we had to set a timer for the kids to take turns using it. Now there is a Samsung Kids app which locks you into kind of like you do on iPhone, but I can't add the Notes app to the kids screen, and I haven't found any kids app that actually supports the S Pen. They keep accidentally closing the app, but anyway, lunch over now. Next up, ice cream. I'll pay. Do you guys take Samsung Pay? You work on watches and stuff?
Oh yeah.
Is that cool, yeah? Now, I did say in a previous video that the experience of using Google Pay was quite hit and miss, but this weekend I switched to Samsung Pay, and I have to say that it has been flawless, other than the fact it doesn't support one of my cards. All of the payments have gone through on both the watch and the phone without any issues. Thank you so much to RoboForm for sponsoring this video. I know I get sponsored by a lot of password managers, but there's a reason for it. I don't really recommend using any like built-in browser-based, like Apple or Samsung-based password managers. That makes it an absolute pain to change between phone or change devices or use Windows versus using Mac. So RoboForm's a really, really great one. They've been one of the original ones that have been around for years and probably even decades at this stage. I don't think they have any records of being breached, which at the current standard is quite impressive given the recent announcements from other password managers. And yeah, they're just really good at form filling, really good at password managers, generating unique passwords for everything. So just a recommendation for me, if you are looking to secure yourself, then absolutely use a password manager, and RoboForm is a great option. So we're at the halfway point of today. It's like 2:26, 50% battery, like bang on, like pretty much half day for me because I stay up till like 1 a.m. in the morning. But I've used this. This has been the first phone I've like properly switched to, and I know people in the comments will, he's going to switch back when the iPhone 50 comes out. I might switch. I'm not too sure yet, but I wouldn't really call it switching. I would say I'm just trying to sample things from both ecosystems. Particularly, the cameras are actually, I would say, much, much better than the iPhone's cameras. We're trying to snap photos here today and being able to zoom in like 100 or 60 or 70 times to see like these people that are diving off on the zip wires was really, really cool to be able to see that close with this camera. Yeah, overall it's just been such a good experience. Yeah, this has been an absolute pleasure. Cool, so we're currently on the max brightness, which I think on this phone maxes out at like 1750. Honestly, I know the iPhone goes to like 2000, but I can't tell the difference. This is like bright enough to be able to see things during direct sunlight. So we're just gonna be, yeah, just gonna catch up on a few things quickly. Unfortunately, around here is where my daughter fell over and caught her knee, but kids will be kids, so I had to carry her around for a while. And would you know it, a quick pit stop at a play area seems to cure her, temporarily. So I used this chance to catch up on socials and a few emails. I've just started using Twitter Blue. Honestly, I'm a bit confused. You can edit your tweets, but not really. Basically, it just delays sending your tweet to give you a chance to edit it. And I found that if you close the app before it sends the tweet, then your tweet won't actually get sent until the next time you open the app again. Seems kind of buggy. I also spent a bit of time catching up with YouTube comments. I do try and read literally every single comment on my channel, and I'll like it and heart and respond to what I can. It is getting pretty challenging as the channel grows in size. So if you want to test that theory, drop a comment down below this video and I'll reply. Maybe consider subscribing, as these videos take an absolute ton of time and effort to make. A quick pit stop so the kids can eat for the 72nd time today, and I watched a couple of videos whilst we just waited before we head out to the beach. I use Google Maps to navigate there. My wife's car does have Android Auto, which I really do like, but I forgot to bring the USB-A to USB-C cable with me. Honestly, the faster the world just switches to USB-C for everything, the better. Got a couple of shots of Chris, who's been filming for most of today. Shout out to him, as he used to be an English teacher. Now he helps me run this channel. And he's definitely not a videographer. If you saw any blurry footage in today's video, that's him. That's his fault. We almost got stuck on the beach, as when the tide comes in, it actually covers the pathway out, so we had to time our escape. Anyway, we get home again and I mindlessly scroll through social media. TikTok's been serving up a lot of these taxi driver who's a medium recently. They've been like fascinating to watch. A few more YouTube comments. I also posted on Twitter and used the S Pen myself for the first time today when I wanted to snap a screenshot and circle something. Neat. Chris was having a really cute conversation with my daughter, so I used the 10 times and 3 times zoom to capture those memories. I checked on my Vitality health insurance to see that the walking I'd done today had earned me a free coffee and more towards like free cinema tickets, Prime membership, and just a ton more stuff. Again, link down below if you want to know more on how that stuff works. I also forgot to bring this with me to the Eden project, but I bought a Samsung Smart Tag to see how they compared to the Apple Tag. Now this is the cheaper version of the tag that isn't as accurate as the Plus version, and I think it's just fine for people who need to find their missing keys indoors. With the kids in bed, I watched some YouTube videos and I put in the Samsung Bud Pro 2s, which I also recently picked up, and I have to say, I've been really surprised with how good these buds are in terms of the audio quality. They're not too bassy, and I've actually been hearing things in my favorite music tracks that I'd not heard before. So yeah, highly recommend giving them a try if you're using an Android phone. 23% battery life check at 8:15 p.m. today. So I know that this will need a full charge overnight still, but it's been a very heavy day of photos and videos and obviously using this phone more often than they would because of making this video. But normally I can get 2 days of battery life out of this phone. And then I just decided to, chill out with the others and we watched Friends for like the 800th time that I've ever seen it whilst day turned to night. Now I normally head to bed around 1 a.m, but since I'm not staying at home and I don't have an Xbox, I decided to have an early night, so plug my phone in to charge overnight. I actually love that it tells you how long it will take to charge, and grateful that the S23 Ultra charges at 45 watts, which gives a full charge in under 2 hours for those times you just need a quick charge before you head out. Anyway, that's been a real family day in the life with the S23 Ultra. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.